February 2026, the White House issues a set of temporary tariffs designed to last just 150 days unless Congress intervenes. On paper, it sounds limited, but in practice, it's a ticking clock for the entire economy. Every shipment crossing the border, every product sitting on a store shelf, every subscription or imported device now carries a hidden surcharge. Families notice it in subtle ways: a slightly higher grocery bill, a costlier laptop, the slow creep of everyday prices. Estimates show that the average American household will pay an extra $600 to $1,300 this year, quietly, without a single vote or public announcement. For corporations, the clock is even more relentless. Retail giants, tech firms, and manufacturers must decide instantly: raise prices and risk angering consumers, or absorb the cost and watch profit margins vanish. Every decision is a gamble against a hard deadline that won't wait. The question is simple but urgent. When the clock strikes 150 days, will businesses, markets, and families be ready, or will the countdown leave the economy reeling? The impact is immediate, invisible, and real. Across America, households start to feel the burden. The household tax is not a new bill or legislation. It's hidden inside the price of goods, quietly siphoning hundreds of dollars per family. Groceries cost more, electronics carry surcharges, clothing and household items slowly creep upward in cost. In corporate boardrooms, the pressure is crushing. Executives at Walmart, Target, Apple, and Nvidia analyze supply chains, weighing costs and customer loyalty. Every shipment delayed, every component imported carries an additional percentage of expense. Should they raise prices now, knowing consumers may push back, or try to absorb it, hoping Congress acts before the 150 days expire? The ticking clock creates uncertainty at every level. Families debate their budgets. Retailers and tech companies scramble to adjust pricing. Investors and analysts revise forecasts daily. Every passing day increases the stakes. By the time the 150-day deadline approaches, decisions made now could ripple through households, markets, and the stock prices of the largest companies in America. And yet, for most Americans, the cost remains unseen, buried in receipts and invoices, a silent pressure feeding into the financial arteries of the economy. The ticking clock doesn't just affect households. Corporate boardrooms are under siege. Retail giants like Walmart and Target face impossible choices: absorb the new tariffs and watch profit margins shrink, jeopardizing quarterly earnings and stock performance; raise prices and risk alienating loyal customers, driving them to competitors. Every percentage point matters. Every decision carries consequences that could echo far beyond the next quarter. Tech companies feel the squeeze differently, but no less intensely. Apple, Nvidia, and other hardware producers rely on global supply chains that now carry hidden costs. Components imported from abroad are suddenly more expensive, squeezing margins on products that already sell at razor-thin profit. The question isn't just profit, it's survival in a market that reacts instantly to any change. Analysts scramble to adjust forecasts. Stock prices wobble. Investors debate whether temporary tariffs will create short-term losses or long-term market turbulence. The uncertainty slows corporate decision-making. Factories hesitate to ramp up production. Supply chains pause while managers recalculate costs. Every shipment delayed, every contract renegotiated adds another layer of tension to a system already operating on razor-thin assumptions. Meanwhile, consumers feel the ripple. Prices creep higher on shelves, online stores, and subscription services. Families quietly adjust spending habits, cutting discretionary purchases to compensate. Yet most don't even realize why their monthly expenses are rising. The temporary tariffs are invisible, quietly reshaping the economy day by day. And through it all, the 150-day clock continues to tick. Each day of delay or indecision magnifies risk, increases cost, and tightens the pressure on both businesses and households. Decisions that seemed small last week now carry the weight of billions, and the looming deadline promises to turn uncertainty into real financial consequence. As the days pass, the 150-day deadline transforms from a number on a calendar into a pulse felt across every corner of the economy. Corporate executives watch the clock like a metronome, each tick counting against profit margins, stock valuations, and strategic decisions. For retailers, the challenge is immediate. Do they raise prices now, passing costs to consumers, and risk losing market share? Or do they absorb the expense, shrinking margins, and hope the clock expires before the tariffs are extended? Every shipment, every inventory decision, every promotional offer is now measured against this invisible countdown. Tech giants face an even more delicate balance. Supply chains are global, and tariffs add layers of cost that affect everything from semiconductor components to finished consumer devices. Margins are compressed. Forecasts are thrown into uncertainty. Investors monitor the situation closely, watching stock prices wobble as the market anticipates each corporate reaction. For families, the pressure is subtle but real. Everyday products cost more, budgets are recalibrated, discretionary spending is reduced. The extra $600 to $1,300 per household is not just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's felt in weekly grocery bills, electronics purchases, and household budgeting. And through it all, markets react in real time. Retail stocks shift with every report. Tech stocks fluctuate with every shipping update. And analysts debate whether companies will weather the 150-day storm or pass the burden entirely to consumers. The countdown has turned into a financial game of chicken, with the clock dictating every corporate and consumer decision. The stakes are clear. If businesses miscalculate, stock prices could tumble. If consumers cut spending too sharply, companies could see revenue collapse. The 150-day clock is no longer just a deadline. It's the engine driving uncertainty, forcing every player in the economy to make high-stakes decisions under relentless pressure. Markets mirror the tension. Stock prices wobble daily as analysts try to price the unknown. The 150-day clock is more than a policy, it's a stress. Investors react to every corporate decision, every report, every minor adjustment in pricing or supply chains. What begins as a temporary surcharge becomes a ripple effect across Wall Street and Main Street alike. Is more than a policy, it's a stress test on the economy. Price increased, every margin squeezed tells the story of a countdown that affects millions, silently but profoundly. If this gave you a new perspective on how temporary tariffs quietly impact households and markets, like the video, subscribe and share it. The countdown may be invisible, but its consequences are real, and understanding them is the first step to staying ahead.